Right. While the president ignored questions about Roy Moore, his daughter did address it, although it took a while to get a statement out of her, about a week, I believe, of attempted tries by multiple outlets. And she stopped short, well short, of calling on the candidate to step aside. She didn't even say that. Nearly a week after the story broke, Ivanka Trump tells the Associated Press, quote, "There's a special place in hell for people who prey on children. I've yet to see a valid explanation, and I have no reason to doubt the victims' accounts." The quote is nearly identical to that of White House staffer Mark Short told Chuck Todd on Sunday's Meet the Press. So Ivanka, of course, was at one point positioned as a leading voice for women's issues in the White House. This is a headline from nearly 1 year ago to the day. Ivanka Trump says she'll keep fighting for women's issues, and I'll tell you that I met with her a few times before and after President Trump won the election, and she wanted to make her entire platform about women's issues. She was going to be the advocate for women in the White House. I met with her, even though I was not happy about Trump winning. I thought I'd like to make sure, do whatever I can help, just as much as I contributed in the Obama administration to speaking out about equal pay and other things. Met with Ivanka. Even brought someone to her that I thought would really be helpful on women's issues, and she hired her. And this is what we've got. She's traveling around the world, Katty K, modeling her fashion designs and talking weekly about tax reform, which you would think there'd be other experts in the White House that could work on that policy so she could focus on women's advocacy, sexual harassment, and people like her father and others who are incredibly insulting to women. What has happened? She was supposed to be the voice for women. What is her position exactly?
Well, I guess you would say that she's had one big achievement recently on women's issues, and that's expanding the child tax credit for about $1,000 to $2,000 for the next 10 years. And she's advocating that that was something that she spent a lot of time talking to Republicans about, having kind of dinners in Washington, trying to get people on board. But if you look on the counter side of the ledger, the fact that it took so long for this statement to come out and that she doesn't actually call on Roy Moore to step down, that's pretty poor when it comes to defense of women, and particularly to defense of children. These are children that we're talking about. She has not been a strong advocate for some of the things that in order to oppose some of the things that this administration has done, which have really rolled back women's rights, not just here in the United States, but around the world. One of the first things that the president did was to cut off American funding for NGOs, non-profits around the world that even advise women on abortion. She didn't manage to stop that. They have rolled back provisions that would help us determine whether we were getting equal pay. She has not managed to stop that. In fact, she gave out a rather sort of mealy-mouthed defense of why that had gone ahead. So I think, you know, you can count up the ledger, and the ledger of the things that she has failed to stop this White House from doing that set back women's process is quite a bit longer than the one thing that she is saying at the moment that she's managed to achieve, although that tax credit would be good for middle-class families.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.